especially as I've got older, I don't like to roam too far from home. There's nothing I like better than just going around the corner and going to a place where I know the people bring their good times with them. And a place... I don't have to do much hard work. Now I turn up at the Railway Hotel up there in Nicholson Street, North Fitzroy. It's a family hotel. It's run by an Italian family called the Negrellis. And they've got their nonna, who's 80-odd years old. She's the chef, and she cooks she's in charge of all the fine food they bring out there. They got a big grapevine out the back you can go and sit under if you like. Big grapevine. And the singer in our band used to keep it trim for the publican. They had a cat that was always asleep next to the band. It was a white cat, which meant it was deaf, which is just as well for the cat. That wasn't our fault, by the way, because we played really, really quietly, which is how we liked it. You go in there in the day, there'd be some old Italian chaps playing cards. It was a very nice place to be. And along with my band, which at the time was the Brunswick Blues Shooters, there was a Friday night band. Thank you. There was a Friday night band called Head Belly Buzzard, and they played old-time string band music with one microphone and no amplifiers. And they had the gig for 12 years, and they lost that too, as well as the Saturday night band. They didn't, yeah. Okay, so that's, and the publican also lost a lot of his people staying around to drink afterwards. And anyway, one of the fellas in the band had been away for a while and touring overseas, and we thought we'd have a big welcome back night for him. And the night that we had our welcome back was the night that Peter Negrelli came out and said, boys, this is going to be your last night. So it wasn't just welcome back Albury, it was goodbye Brunswick Blues Shooters, and that was the end of our gig. Yeah, we would usually have about 50 or 60 people there. That was about it. And somebody suggested that rather than have security, because of the age of some of our people, and our drummer was 73 years old, the great Harold V from the famous Thunderbirds, been playing since 1957. Some people suggested we actually have some medicos on call to take care of any heart attacks rather than security. That's really what we needed. But something I'd like to say is that while this is a rock and roll crowd, this business, this ridiculous licensing laws doesn't just affect rock and roll, because I've seen Latin bands affected by it, people playing Greek rumbatica music, people playing gypsy music, people playing all kinds of music. Also, a lot of the musicians you won't even read about in press or beat are jazz musicians, people playing usually trad jazz. Or modern, whatever, but they play all over the place and you won't read about them. But a lot of those people earn their living from music. And it's affected everybody, not just rock and roll. Now, the last point I'd like to make is that, as far as I'm concerned, the small venue is a centre for community cohesion. People know each other, and they're drawn together by the music. Nobody goes there looking for trouble, we all know that. If there's a few blow-ins, they're maybe straight into the wrong place and they're looking to start something, they may just as well try to start something in a local church. It's like trying to strike a match against a damp cloth. No chance of fire. Worried about community violence, so are we all. Music in small venues is something that enriches local identity, social responsibility and cohesion. For many of us, it's the nearest thing to real living culture that we can experience. Now, we in the inner suburbs are lucky to have our small pubs and bars and restaurants that employ live musicians. I understand the social function and the humanitarian value of live music that's part of the way of life as much as food, drink, and conversation and laughter are. Shortly after my gig folded due to the financial impracticality of employing 2 crowd controllers insisted by the Liquor Licensing Directorate, the same body approved 2 clubs in the Docklands area, one with a capacity of 750 people, the other with a capacity of 1,500. It's unlikely that either of these places will employ live musicians. You got that sign in there. It's equally unlikely that any of the patrons that frequent these places will create social networks through attending these venues. These places are anonymous. The staff will not become familiar with any one of the sea of faces that pass through. And these faces drawn from places that know no community, from places with no other life than the shopping mall, certainly no local gigs. To get as drunk as they can, be ejected by security, to continue their bins free of identification, other than by the cold eye of the security camera on the street or the train station, where they can vent their frustration Their alienation and their bored anger on some passing individual is faceless to them as they have become to themselves. As for me, I'll see at the local gig if it's still there. Listen. But listen, I've got to go. I can hear my train coming. It's a steam train. I can't do diesel. Keep up the jam. The most colourful toe in Australian rock and roll, Paul Kelly! Alright, I'd like to bring out a man who hosts one of my top, it's got to be the top 5 3 RRR radio shows, Mr. John Von Goes. And a beautiful woman who I look at every night as she peers down from my daughter's bedroom.